Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar event with John Santos of Zoom and Profit. My name is Thomas, and I'm a platform representative here at NinjaTrader. Now, today's webinar is interactive, so if you'd like to ask questions during the presentation, please open the chat window. Now, you can open your chat window by moving the mouse to the bottom of the Zoom window and pressing on the chat icon. Now, once you do have that chat window enabled, I would like to test for audio and video. So if you can hear my voice and see the projection on your screen, please enter the letter Y into that chat window now. All right, wonderful. Well, it looks like I'm coming in loud and clear. Now, we have a very special event for today with Zoom and Profit. But before we get started, I would like to place a poll into the room. Now, while you fill out that poll, I would like to remind everyone that it's important to understand that there's substantial risk in trading commodity futures contracts and Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and it will depend on your circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the link provided in the room for more information or for a copy of the CFTC full risk disclosure. Also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation or recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Now, this webinar is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to the NinjaTrader brokerage team directly at the information provided in the room. Now, thank you everyone for filling out that poll. That poll asked what initially brought you to the NinjaTrader ecosystem website. 53% said searching for trading apps and add-ons. 29% said looking for trading education. 13% said looking for programming assistance, and 6% said joining their first live webinar. Well, welcome to everyone today for joining your webinar. Now, the NinjaTrader ecosystem is home to hundreds of third apps and services, all centered around the NinjaTrader platform with new tools added nearly every day. NinjaTrader ecosystem is home to hundreds of apps of services. You can quickly and easily find the tools or services you're looking for with a simple keyword search. You can view a complete list of those searches at the link I'll be posting in the room. And for more up-to-date information, be sure to follow and like NinjaTrader ecosystem on social media. And the NinjaTrader platform is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. To ensure you are on the latest version to pick up free live data trial, please visit the following link. And if you were just getting started, we do offer free live trading events on a daily basis. You can visit a schedule of our events at the link I'll be posting in the room. Now, we have a very unique event today in which John will discuss putting together a trading plan using automated strategies. Now, thank you again for your attendance today. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room, John. Please take it away, John.
All right, traders, it's very, I'll share here. Share results. Share. Just a second. My screen. Okay. My screen coming okay?
I think you just want to scroll up to the top of your presentation there, John, and then you can hit the presentation
okay,
icon at the bottom.
Sorry about that. Yep. All right, here we go. Yep, 5.
If you hit that presentation.
Okay, is that coming through?
Yep, that looks great.
All right. Hello, traders of the NinjaTrader platform. It's a pleasure to present to you for the second time. Back in May was a success, and several of my customers from that presentation are still with me today. And your support has meant a lot, because I have been able to upgrade and improve the strategies for further performance. And the second reason of great excitement is that we have, with better software, taken on a new project and a service specifically designed to trade on prop firms accounts. So for that purpose, my presentation today, optimization of NinjaTrader platforms, strategies for prop firms trading. And are the items we're going to cover today. A brief introduction of what the definition of optimization within the context, why prop firms trading, an assessment of prop firms rules, and the full throttle during evaluation phase that we optimized for, and then optimization for long-term success in the funded phase. And then we'll talk about the ultimate optimization that I am proposing. So what is optimization? The dictionary says making the best of anything. And the other definition is very appropriate and applicable to the challenge we have on prop firms trading. Techniques for finding a maximum value of a function of several constraints. So we know that those rules of prop firms trades are the constraints, and we have to optimize to find the maximum value. So when we speak of optimization within the NinjaTrader, the first thing that comes to mind is the strategy analyzer, the optimization engine. And yes, it may involve the strategy analyzer, but the optimization may need to go way beyond that analyzer. Why? Because the analyzer has some constraints. It requires a ton of time when using hybrid bars. We know that time bars don't perform as well as hybrid bars. So we need the hybrid bars to work, and they take a huge amount of time, making them almost impossible to backtest and make the necessary optimization on the strategy analyzer. And it's still not possible to remove all the nuances of trades, such as missing target by a couple of ticks or hitting a stop loss on the last tick. All of those things are part of the trading, and we'll see an example that I was trading this chart. And so one stop by a tick, and the other one missed the target by 2 points on the NQ. And the trade that would have been profitable turns out to be, by the way, this is a reverse strategy, so you see going against the trend. And then the trade that would have been profitable, it turns out to close at the end of the day. So this is the difficulty of optimizing properly. And we'll see what we can do about this. But now, why prop firms trading? That is a very important question. Why do you look for prop firms trading instead of trading your own capital at a brokerage firm? First, we demonstrate trading skills in a live environment with minimum capital. Instead of a full amount capital at a brokerage, we use a minimum capital at a prop firms, and then get paid for performance. And the ability to diversify relatively easy, because if you use your own capital, you requires more capital to be diversified. With multiple firms and accounts with the prop firms, you can trade multiple strategies. So those are the reasons for prop firms capital, trading with the prop firms capital. So in assessment of the prop firms rules, that's where we live and die by the rules. So first of all, you have to read, for those who are not familiar with the prop firms, you have to trade a minimum of 10 days or 15 days, depending on each firm has different requirements. You have to prove yourself for X number of days before you are given the chance of making money on a funded environment. So the paper trading for the first 2 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on the time frame, is necessary to test your ability as a trader or your strategy. And then you have the trailing drawdown. So I'm not going to get into the details of how the trailing drawdown works, but that is where your performance is really put to the maximum test. And another firm has an end of day drawdown or daily loss limit. So all of those requirements that you have to pass in order to get a funded account. And some have limitations about the permitted hours of trading. So usually you have to close your positions by the time the market closes at the end of the day. And another company does not allow open trades during major economic news. And then there are minor requirements like the types of instruments, maximum number of contracts, and so forth. And what happens if you fail one of those rules? Any one of those rules will reset your account, and you have to pay a fee, usually $85 to $100 in order to get your account balance reset. During the evaluation phase, that's not so bad, but you really don't want this to happen in the funded account because you would have to start over. And during the funded phase, you have to pay a fee and the monthly data, platform fees, and so forth in order to maintain that funded account. And the trailing drawdown will go away once you reach a certain level of profits above the initial balance. And in order for you to withdraw profits, you have to accumulate profits beyond a threshold balance. But there is an exception to that, and we'll see which company offers a better deal in terms of not having to accumulate a large balance before you can get your first payout. And the good thing is with the funded account, there are no minimum days required. Whenever you reach your profits, you do so at your own pace. And so which prop firm is the best choice? That depends on your own criteria. Besides cost and promotional incentives, I think those three are the most relevant. For me, economic news announcement not allowed. I do not want that because I find it very difficult to be watching the charts. And if I miss the certain economic news, then I would be disqualified. So I will not sign up. Personally, I will not sign up with a prop firm that does not allow open trades during economic news announcement. And multiple funded accounts allowed. That's a very, very important feature that traders look for. And flexible withdrawal once funded. So we'll see in a moment which company offers those two elements. But first, let's talk about the trailing drawdown. Which one is better? Definitely, in my opinion, end of day drawdown of $4,500. This is an example for a $150,000 account is more advantageous than 5K live trailing drawdown. But the problem is the end of day drawdown comes with a daily loss limit of $3,000. That's not good because now actually your limit is $3,000 loss. On the other hand, it may be good for you in the funded phase that you really don't want to trade anything that gets you close to a $3,000 loss in one day. So the good thing is the company that offers a daily loss limit of 3,000, which is not good, but they offer something that is really good, which is the flexible withdrawal from funded accounts as soon as you make profits. I like that. And this week, I'm opening two accounts, trading them simultaneously. One is a mirror of the other. And then we'll see head-to-head live performance of the trailing drawdown versus the end of day drawdown. And so I'm going to post those results in the Discord channel, TP Guide, and you can see the results of how they fare on both situations of trailing drawdown and the end of day with daily loss limit. So I don't like guesswork, and you probably don't either. And we have put together the means to test them on a side-by-side real comparison. And with all these rules, the big question some people have is, wouldn't it be best to just trade their own money? And my answer is that first, if I had $1 million to trade futures, I'd still do prop firms trading because of the trading discipline and risk management that they impose. And second, for you, this is my standard answer that I cannot comment on what's good regarding risk of your own capital. There are too many factors and variables involved with each decision, and I'm bound to those rules too. So it's a personal balance decision that you have to assess risk versus opportunity. And what can we do about those tough rules? This is what we can do, optimize our game plan. And that's why I'm here. So how does the optimization work? You know, some people go through different roller coaster ups and downs. They take too long to get a funded account because during the evaluation phase, they change their minds about their plan. So I have devised a plan that I'm following myself, and I was very successful with it last week. And I have a few customers who also have been successful with it. And that is to optimize for the evaluation phase in a way that you get the job done as fast as possible, trading as many contracts as possible. And if you follow the full throttle as I have designed, I don't know, we cannot tell you exactly when, but our expectation based on experience is you're going to get funded in the first 30 days. And how do we do so? Well, I like the 4 contracts. You know, there are different ways of playing this out. And I'm going to put this as a PDF on my website that you can download and look at the numbers. But the idea is that playing inverse risk ratio of 1 to 2 or 1.5, 1 or even 1 to 3, you get several profits in a row, and that's what makes your profit accumulate when it works out. And when it doesn't, you just get the balance reset and you pay a fee to restart over. But starting over quickly on an evaluation phase is not so bad. So the idea is to get the job done, and we'll see more about that so that you can focus your time later on the funded phase, because that's really where you have to be very careful. So I have a ton of examples that we have optimized in order to pass the evaluation in 30 days. But if you are scared of the reset fees, then this is not for you. I don't have a plan for the evaluation phase that does not involve reset fees. So I was very fortunate, and some customers have also been fortunate to pass without the reset fees, but they may be there. And so don't be discouraged, because if you stay with the plan, you will pass. It's just a matter of time. And so here's an example that worked perfectly textbook for me last week. I started trading just 1 contract, but it was very optimal time according to my software to go up to 4 contracts. And so I did it 3 trades with 4 contracts, jumped my balance to over $8,000 in just 3 trades. And that got me funded in 3 days. As you can see here, the balance at $159,000. And today I'm trading just micros until I complete the 10 days. And there are 2 more days to go. So after the balance is currently increased by $500 the past week, trading just micros. So the idea to get $9,000 and then slow down your pace trading smaller risk with the micros. And so there is a large number of optimizations that I and my team have worked that basically knocks out the evaluation phase in a few punches. Here's an example of one of my users who posted that he optimized with an 80% win rate. And you can see the stop loss is 1.5 times bigger than the target profit. So we call this the inverse risk of 1.5. And so now for the funded phase, that's where we need to make money on a more consistent basis. And I have the software that has had a very, very good success optimized for this over the past 12 months. And I like, so basically your mileage will vary. So I have not set too many variables, okay? Only a few. And number one is I always use the same chart, NISA Ranko 16.9 or the NQ range 60. And there are users in my group using other charts, but mostly I will use only 1 or 2 charts to make the story simple so that you can always see where I stand. And my favorite is the Mimic one, and I'll talk about that Mimic in just a second. But here I use a target of $400 and a stop loss of $450, and this has a very high winning ratio. And so for those who want to go more aggressively, So you can do 2 contracts instead of 1. And this is the result on replay over the past 2 weeks. So this is not always typical, but the last 2 weeks have been very, very hot. And I expected that for the month of September. And it has played out as according to our expectations. And so the variables as far as your choices are really a lot, but I limited myself to showing you only about 3 or 4 so that you can have a simple starting plan instead of getting lost in the process. And this is the trading from today on the micros. So the account is unofficially funded. So I'm going slow with the micro contracts, and you can see the charts that traded today. Mimic 1 on the left and Mimic 2. Mimic 2 means that is more conservative. And so on the optimization for funded account, the big question is how much money you can be reasonably happy with. So my example, a 150,000 account with a trailing drawdown of $5,000 or end of day drawdown of $4,500, daily limit $3,000. There are many, many other options. However, this is my standard, and I always stick with 1 so that I can always be telling the same story and not get people confused with my offers and where I stand. So to keep a story consistent, my idea is to make $2,500 per month. Why $2,500? Because as a rule of thumb, if you have a trailing drawdown that you cannot exceed $5,000, then you should stay at 50. You should target your monthly goal at 50% of that loss limit. And so that's a maximum of $2,500. So it may not be much for all the work involved. However, consider that eventually you can set up multiple funded accounts, and then the payout can be significant. So again, as a reference, we aim for 50% of the trailing drawdown. And that is sufficient to justify our cost and give us a good return on depending on the level of our success. And you can make a lot of money, but with the funded rules, it's better to limit for the minimum instead of the maximum, because the maximum will usually cause your account to reset and you have to start over. So slow and steady is the goal for the optimization. And I say this about my own accounts, my own strategies, but you can also use any strategies of your choice. So now I'm going to speak specifically of the zoom in profit strategies with all the work that has gone on throughout the year. I started in December last year, and many of the customers who started out back in January, February, they're still using my software. And also several of the customers from the last webinar here in May are still using it. And one opinion from the guys that are in my trading group, that the mimic mode seemed to be a game changer. And so I'm constantly improving on that, and so far has shown exceeded expectations. Nothing is perfect when it comes to trading, of course. So the flip side, when you use the mimic change mode, is you may miss out on good trades. And so trading is always a difficult balance between of the trade-offs. So it takes a combination of trading dynamics to keep up with ever-changing market cycles. So my goal is to not present the perfect scenario, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But based on statistical observations, we project what we can live with and try to satisfy our appetite for risk. First, this result is not typical, but it happened, and you saw in my own account in previous slides that I captured those results in those 3 trading days that were necessary to fund my account. And basically, we exploit this kind of results during the evaluation phase, but we have to settle for a much less stellar, more consistent setup on funded accounts. So the T-stop is not consistently returning this kind of thing, but it did give 18 profitable trades in a row last week, or the last 2 weeks. And then this week it has had some losses. So again, not typical, but it does happen when the markets align, and we exploit those full throttle on evaluation phase. And if it does not happen as good as it happened the past 2 weeks, then you're going to get your account reset. But if you are not as in a hurry to get your account funded in 3 days like I did, or 10 days, which is the ideal, you can slow down and still fund your account within 30 days. So it would take several hours to go with all the details about how all of this works. However, I'm still putting the pieces together, and I'm very happy that I decided to work side by side with my customers since the 2nd of August, because I'm getting immediate feedback, and on a live environment where things happen with their feedback, I have been able to lay down the foundation to the Apex and the Earn to Trade accounts that are our primary choices. And so my simulations indicate that there will be resets and failures, but if we're consistent with the same charts, we'll come out ahead. So along with the community of traders and developers, we cover many aspects daily in our Discord channel and WhatsApp. And I'll put that link here at the end for the Discord. So the ultimate optimization, this is where we have to really refine our game, because optimization takes a lot of time. So how we're going to do this: prepare ourselves to fight a common enemy. And so with the strength that you plus me, we are a team. And so I'm going to lay out now the foundation of an idea that will save us thousands of hours collectively. So the pursuit of the optimal strategy on replay data. We have already talked at the beginning that the strategy analyzer does not work well for hybrid bars. And so we spend a ton of time, I mean, endless hours doing optimizations on strategy with hybrid bars on replay. So imagine that if you alone spend 100 hours and 100 other people do the same, that's 10,000 hours, right? Doing the same thing. You know, why we should have something that works more efficiently. So imagine that if you spend only 20 hours instead of 100, but 100 people do the same using the same strategy. Now you have, let's deduct 50% for overlap of work, and this is what happens. If you take your 10 hours and put it together, those 10 hours, put them together with 100 other people, then you will have 1,000 hours of aggregate benefits in exchange for your input of 20 hours. So I have set up a website. It's called tippyguy.net, that in the near future, I'm going to take my best strategies. And this is really something that one of my users said, I'm on that task force. So going forward, I think we can change the way we do replay, in that instead of you looking for 10, 20 charts, you only work on one, but then you have access, easy to retrieve access to charts done by other people working on the same strategy. That will save you a ton of time, and you can dial in very quickly what the charts of your choice. And so this is a time now for final remarks and questions and answers that you may have, and I'll be glad to answer your questions. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to post here the prop firms. So the prop firms, the question number one is which prop firms? I do Earn to Trade, and which has given a discount of 50% today. And you can use my affiliate link. I only publish links of affiliate of companies that I do business with myself. And so the Earn to Trade at 50% lifetime discount is an amazing deal. On my own software, you can have a discount of 22%. And if you're paying with Zelle or Venmo, you can get an additional $75 off, and you need to contact me for that. On the Apex, there is a 30% discount code. The advantage of the Apex is that you can do multiple accounts. However, Apex has a threshold balance that you have to fund during the profits of your account accumulate before you can withdraw. So it's a fine balance, and if you need to discuss that, we can take that further detail by detail on our Discord. And so basically it's a trade-off. One gives immediate withdrawal once you make a profit at Earn to Trade, but you can only fund one account at Earn to Trade. And the other one, you can fund multiple accounts, but you have to wait, accumulate profits before you can make your first withdrawal payout. I'm going to scroll back here to see questions more from the beginning, because I want to see what I can answer. Okay, let's see. So what is the prop firm? Some people are saying that they use Lilu. Yes, Lilu is fine. Apex and Lilu are very, very similar, if not nearly identical. And how often you get paid. So if you make profits on Earn to Trade, you can get your profits out as soon as you make them on the funded account, starting with $100, and ideally $500 so that you don't pay the withdrawal fee. So Earn to Trade's discount right now at 50% is really great. And so there are different, let's see for one question here that NINJA indicators. So by the way, I only use NINJA indicators on my strategies. That is the step made by NINJA, and I've had that for about 10 months. And someone wrote here that multiple funded accounts means a lot of monthly fees. Yes, you have to go slow on that and fund as you go according to your personal finances. And then hopefully get one or two successful accounts to pay for the going forward fees. And let's see if any questions here. So on accessing the task team, you have to go to my Discord, TP guide. And on the, some firms will require 2 evaluations before funded, which is not the case with the Apex and Earn to Trade. And the profit split between is 80% for the trader and 20% for the firm. Someone asked me about the feelings about Top Step prop firm. We know that Top Step was first and a monopoly for a long time. The game has changed dramatically since other firms. After Top Step came One-Up Trader. Do not trade on One-Up Trader because it does not allow trade during major economic news announcement. But those are reputable firms with a good reputation. It's just that they don't align with my goals and requirements. And so someone is asking whether these are algos that I set and forget. Yes, my parameters are for set and forget. However, you still have to watch your platform because orders may go astray on the NinjaTrader platform for various reasons. And the name of my software is zoominprofit.com. So I posted the link for the Apex already. Someone is asking me whether the step MA is lagging. All indicators lag, and yes, definitely they do. We don't know of any indicators for retail traders that don't lag. We do the best we can, and that's what took me years in order to be able to get the step MA to post profits, even though it's a lagging indicators. So let's see if I can post more questions here. Is one prop firm easier to get funded than another? That's what we want to find out, whether the trailing drawdown versus the end of day. So it can vary depending on the outcome of your trades, but basically they're all tough, aren't they? However, we're trying to make this game optimized in our favor. Your strategies cannot be, my strategies cannot be purchased from Ninja. I have a licensing agreement with Ninja that I distribute the Ninja indicators in my strategies. So Ninja is a partner with my strategies. And I do not have an opinion with the UProf trader. I've heard that they charge $250 for the funded fee. So I think that's too much. Let's see here. Okay. By the way, unfortunately I posted my links to the hosts. So here goes my link, guys. I'm sorry that I just realized now that I had posted my links to the hosts instead of everyone. Finally, you get my links. Sorry about that. I'm really bad with doing two things simultaneously, talking and be aware of my screen. And so some of your here's a question about some of the trades are shown in the middle of the night. I start my software trading at midnight New York time, and so obviously I go to sleep and wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which is my California time, 6 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up at 5, and then I check my platform before the New York Open. It works out okay, but that's a risk that you have to consider yourself, whether you want your software to trade unattended during the night. But my trades start at midnight. Some of them, like the Step MA, starts at 2 a.m. Always, I refer to New York time as far as my platform time. So with my, let's see if I can post my Discord channel for you. Okay. If you had to pick just one prop firm for the best price, customer service fees, this is a great question. If I had to pick just one, customer service fees, okay. If I had just one customer, that today with a 50% discount on the earn to trade is the best deal of the day. Now, without that 50% discount, then we have to consider other aspects. So going forward, Apex gives a 30% discount, and but I think it's only 30% for the first month, and let's see about the 20% discount on earn to trade going for if you don't take advantage of the 50% today. So but you have to consider whether you want multiple accounts or not. If you want multiple accounts, then Apex is your better choice. And if you're happy with just one account, definitely earn to trade. The cost is amazing at 50% discount, lifetime discount. That's what I was told in the link that was sent to me. So with that discount, it makes it the most attractive offer that I have ever seen from a prop firm. And so I hope that you can take advantage of that discount today with 50%, because it's a lifetime discount, even for future use on if you have resets. So so as I said, my indicators, my strategies are based on Ninja indicators, T-stop, and step MA. And obviously, there is no perfect strategy based on indicators. We do the best that we can. So if you want to trade just the New York session, yes, you can adjust the hours. That's up to you. So those hours are flexible according to your choices. I have optimized for my strategies to catch trades before the open. And so for me, it has worked out better that way. But you can do anything as far as your choice of time. And a question here, what if you are a beginner? So everyone is a beginner at some point. There is a learning curve, and that learning curve is better when you have sources that will help you in a way that allow you the motivation to stay in the game. This is a very high turnover that most people who start will quit. And so a good beginning is something that you can have some support. And that's what I try to provide. I cannot answer every question, but every question within reason can be answered by a support source from other traders. And that's why I have put together a channel that we can communicate on a daily basis. So there is a question here about another webinar called Pinnacle. It's not related. And let's see if any more questions toward the end here. So I appreciate very much that you're sending me questions. And if I don't answer your question specifically, you can email me. And my email, info@zoominprofit.com. In the Discord channel, TP guide. So the question about whether there is a prop firm that I would avoid, based on past experience, everyone will have a bad experience with prop firms at some point because of the rules. So in my case, trading with another partner who was trading manually the account, he traded one contract over the limit number of contracts. And so we were disqualified when we were already funded and had over $6,000 in profits. So that was a bad experience, but it was our fault for trading one contract over the limit. It's so it's something that we have to watch. You know, those hours. Things happen in such a way that it's really hard to say that we won't have a bad experience. So the past experience is not about the company, but it's about us not sticking to the rules 100%. You can't just go by 99% of the rules. And let's see. So there are lots of questions that I can answer on a case by case, but basically on my software, it's been in use by a lot of traders, and my goal is to make them even better with the input of optimization as a group task force. And that's also an example that would be great for any other vendor strategy. Instead of people spending time alone, they can combine their effort. And if you optimize only one chart, but then you have access to 10, 20 charts optimized by other users, you multiply your hours instead of you doing all the work. Do I offer a demo? No, I don't. Demo for me is I'm a one-man operation, and I don't have the time to give demo in a way that would make it a good deal for you and for me. My example is that if I have 1 hour to give and I split that hour into 10 people, you only get 6 minutes. And so it's not possible to do business in a very efficient way to prepare you for the market ahead on a demo base. And if you question, what if you already have a funded account? Can we incorporate the software? Yes. Well, that's what we have really strived for, to put together a plan that works on both phases. As I said, we optimize for high risk, high reward at the beginning, and then we go slow with only one contract in order to be successful trading with the software on a funded account. The NinjaTrader has the step MA on a list of indicators. As far as indicators, so there is a distinction here. The indicator is owned by ninja.co, and I have the strategies based on those indicators. So when you get my strategy, the indicator is included, but the indicator per se, just the indicator, that is not for me to say. It's up to Ninja. So if you're familiar with ninja.co, they've got they own the indicators. Yes, NinjaTrader is the only platform that I use. I would like to have the capital to explore others, but basically it takes time and a lot of money to be able to keep up with all the platforms. I've been a NinjaTrader user since 2008, and that's all I know. I use NinjaTrader 8. So I started with the NinjaTrader 6, 6.5, 7, and now NinjaTrader 8. And it's not perfect, but it's doing what I need for the time being. As a retail trader, I would like to be able to have others included, but there are many constraints to be able to use more than one platform. So the question here about the step MA, $149 on the Ninja website, that is the indicator only, okay? So the Ninja step MA for $149 is indicator only, which there is a huge difference between indicator and strategy. The strategy will drive the car for you automatically, meaning that like an automatic car, it will perform. Think about this as indicator as a car, but you are the driver. You have to provide all the elements for that indicator to work. Whereas the strategy, it works for you on an autopilot. By what contracts do you trade with? ES and NQ. You can explore with gold, CL, etc. Yes, but I have not had the time and probably never will, because life is too short to be able to cover all markets. If I can be successful with just 2 markets, I will stay with those and then make them as good as possible. And of course, I take the input, and that's why I want a task force of people who are going to be able to have the time to test on markets of their choice. So going forward, I would like to see a change in the optimization, because we individually spend, let's say, 100 hours with one instrument and another 100 hours, or maybe 1,000 hours, and all of a sudden you have spent all your free time. You have no free time actually when you are doing optimization on too many instruments. So that's the idea that I have. If you are good with the CL, that's the crude oil, then share your template and get the input from other people who like that instrument. That's what the goal that I have going forward, that you part of my team to optimize the software for all the instruments instead of me doing all the work myself. I've done up to until now, and I've been successful in presenting a good case for the ES and now the NQ, but I will not even look at another chart because it's just impossible. And doesn't the ES and NQ mimic each other most days? Yes, as far as a market direction in general, but as far as performance, the strategies have different ways of reading the order flow and everything that goes on with each one. So the performance is not directly related. It's only indirectly related. Okay, let me see if I can get a link of my copy. So if anyone who has a link of my Discord channel and can post it here for us, that would be great. Let's see if I can bring that up. Discord. Okay, I'm starting my Discord here. Hopefully I can post a link for you in just a minute. All right, okay, a link from the Discord is coming. Okay, you have a link of the Discord. So a question about if I purchase only one strategy out of 3, which is best. My number 1 choice is Step MA. It has the most stable performance over the past 12 months. The other ones are additional for various reasons, but the number 1, after many months of test and use, the Step MA is the way to go. So the Step MA has been traded by many traders. One of my customers uses it since February. So there's a question about leading indicators. There are vendors who promise leading indicators. I don't have experience with them. Personally, I have never seen them. Depends on how you define leading indicators. My opinion is the moment something is plotted on the chart, it's already passed. Leading would mean to indicate the future for you, and that is not my realm of expertise. I have attempted that, but I have not been successful. And if you have a leading indicator that gives you money, share that with us. We would appreciate. So do you teach how to use the Step MA? Yes, definitely. The Step MA is something that I have spent an enormous amount of time to know every nuance of the plotting of the strategy. And that is also discussed daily, what happens and what doesn't happen as far as the trades that come on that strategy. I have decided to be good at one thing. And so the Step MA is number 1. And then the others as additional points of discussion, but also improvement. I want to take the T-stop when it does well. My goodness, it's amazing performance, but I need to be able to have settings that are more consistent with the T-stop. And I have a sense of the T-stop really good for large target profits. So I had some charts for $1,000 and $2,000 target profit that did very well on the NQ. However, those large target profits are not suitable for prop firms because of they can also lead to large drawdown, especially if you miss a profit and then on a trailing drawdown, you are penalized by the amount of profit that is not captured. So therefore, there is a fine balance that for several months, I have refined the numbers that are optimal for specifically for the prop firms trading that we need to be good at. So there are 2 environments of trading, and I am now focusing on the prop firms trading. Yeah, this presentation will be uploaded to the NinjaTrader ecosystem. Definitely, yes. You're going to be able to watch this. And also, I will put a PDF after we end on my website. So you can see that on my website. Sometimes it's better to go on the PDF so you can go page by page, slide by slide, instead of watching a video. But you will have the option of the video later on sent to you directly by NinjaTrader to your email that you registered. Can a trader employ scalping strategies with your software? Yes, but I have not been successful with that, okay? So I'll be honest with you, I don't have expectations of my software being good with scalping, meaning, trades of around $100 per TP. Instead, I have been more at the $300 plus with equivalent $300 to $500 stop loss. So there have been users trying to use my software, but I haven't heard from them with scalping. They tried it. I guess that they gave up because it's not consistent. I have worked for many, many months to come up with scalpers. At the end, I give up. Not being able to find successful scalping with my software or any other software that I have tried from different vendors and different ideas from everything imaginable on a chart for scalping, and it's just not there. Success after success is followed by failure after failure. So how long are you in each trade on average? Well, when the market goes in your favor, probably on average half an hour for $400. That's the average target profit of the step MA. I would say half an hour, sometimes an hour or two if it slows down, but most of the time it's half an hour. That's a good question that I forgot to look into the time summary, but you can see that probably on the PDF that I will post, or very easily to find on the summary of the results. And let's see here. So most of all, I want to excuse myself for not posting the links for you right away. People were sending me messages, where are the links, where are the links? And my host, Thomas, had warned me at the beginning to, when I post my link, to send it to everyone. Instead, I posted it just to the panel, to the hosts. So one more time that I have to knock myself on the head for not watching the screen carefully. And see here. So basically on the pricing of my strategies, I no longer offer subscription because my time is now really in demand with many ideas and services and helping people with the use of my software, that providing timely service on a subscription because people want to make the most use of it in the first month has become very, very difficult, and I removed the option of a subscription. So when you purchase my software, nobody can promise you future profits, obviously, because of market conditions, but my customers know that I provide the very best service in terms of hands-on knowledge, experience, support, and no traders left behind. Is there a maximum loss or profit for any given day per contract? Is there a maximum amount of trades you can do on any given day? You know, those options are available in the software, but over time, I have decided to just let it run the course of the day, and so if that's something for you, those options are there for you to explore. And so the maximum loss or profit is an input of your choice. I do not put a limit on my own trading as far as a daily loss or limit. Is there a maximum amount of trades you can do in any given day? So when the market is moving fast, you can take a lot of trades. However, using the mimic mode, it reduces the number of trades by half or by almost more than 50%, depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So let's see if any more questions here. So someone asked me what specifically I'm selling today. So I'll end here with this question. I sell two things. One is my own software for trading, which you can use on your own personal brokerage account, but I don't go over details on that. So the second thing is that I sell the idea that prop firms trading is a good option for using my software. And so that is my level of expertise that I'm offering today for you to take advantage of prop firms offers for the reasons already explained, that they allow you with the minimum amount of capital to take control over certain number of options as far as accounts that will allow you to have a profit if you are successful. Another question here, do you always use an inverse risk ratio? No, not at all. There are options for you to use inverse ratios that are not inverse, but for the time being, on the funded accounts and not funded accounts and so forth, I came up with inverse risk because they give a higher number of wins based on the proprietary mimic mode that I use. So that option, you can play different ratios, and that's one aspect that I worked on for a very, very long time. And the software, the Step MA will perform well, or has performed, I'm sorry, not will, because we don't know future market condition, but has performed well with positive ratio. Yes, we have a lot of documentation of that. And if you want to play with positive ratio, that's another aspect that we hope to put together for you and easy to retrieve, because I have a ton of that information of that, but it's not easy to retrieve. It's in my hard drives, right? So for you to have that on an easy to retrieve and know exactly what risk ratios offer the options that you want, that is the plan that I want to put together on what I call the ultimate optimization. So the ultimate optimization, guys, is a teamwork task force that will allow you to see with just 1 or 2 clicks what optimization, what risk ratio you would like to trade. So so this question about the optimization, I already have my mind made up that there are many answers. One of those answers is the one that is good for you. But right now, it's hard to find out which answer is good for you, because we don't have an organization of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15 different optimizations that you can click and instantly, hey, I like this optimization of risk ratio 1.3 positive instead of 1.3 negative. So we'll get there with this new plan that I have put together. And the website specifically for that purpose is called tpguide.net. And so in the coming days, those who have joined me, and actually we already have a lot of work in my group, for my support group, and toward that purpose. Is this the Holy Grail? That's a great question. The Holy Grail is a concept that we wish, but it does not exist. We have to face the reality that the markets are unpredictable, and the best we can do is to control our risk. And so as we trade with prop firms, we know that our risk is controlled by the amount we put in. And so that's as best as I can say that, to me, being a person with not a lot of capital, it is the Holy Grail, but not in the sense of performance, but in the sense of limiting my risk, that I can live with, that I can sleep with, that I can basically be at peace, that if I lose a few $100s, I'm not losing my lifetime savings. So that is the Holy Grail that I have on a personal concept of risk, rather than performance based on a software. It has performed well, but it is not something that we can guarantee by any means. And if it fails us in the future, we are prepared, or at least I am, and my users are very, very aware. Most of them are experienced traders. We have traders of all levels of proficiencies. And I would say that the average in my group of 20 traders is 10 to 20 years of experience. And so they have been through a lot of experiences, and I have a lot of I could post all day for you here, guys, what I get as far as my WhatsApp messages, and they are very happy with the structure that I have put together, that we look to limit our risk rather than looking for the holy grail without caution. So first we take care on a defensive basis, and then we go for the offensive. So does your team trade as a group or individually? We have a group account, and each one trades individually. So the group account is just a test for optimization in software that we have shared financially, small amount. And so that provides the base for us to limit our risk by sharing the cost. And so it has worked out very well that we are able to create a model of what may work and then duplicate that individually. So first of all, we take on as a task as a group, and then if it proves successful, individually people will duplicate that result in their own, apply that concept to their own accounts as they see fit to their situation. So we have more questions. I see two participants raised the hand. Any questions? Can someone trade on your software outside the States? Oh yeah, definitely. So there are some direct messages. I'd say one or two last questions and then we'll wrap up. Okay, well, we are running out of time. I'm so glad that this was a successful with all those questions. So I want to wrap up here by saying that my last webinar in May, I had half as many questions. So I'm judging my success here today with the questions. And secondly, I'm judging my success that the customers that I picked up since May have stayed with me. And so that is a really good thing that I look forward to working with all of you at various levels. And so the question here, why are the system, what are the system and PC necessary? So we prefer to use VPS or dedicated server. If you have a personal computer, there are some questions about that we have to address personally as far as your internet connection. So I'm a beginner and I already have funded my NinjaTrader account. So I will not speak to the NinjaTrader account. That is a separate issue from what we are addressing here today. We are addressing funded accounts in prop firms, but obviously you can use my software in the NinjaTrader account. That is totally possible, and that's actually the normal use of my software. And the prop firms is an additional level of service that I have started, and likely my company is the first to provide that specific service on of software trading on the NinjaTrader platform, optimized for prop firms. So I launched the service to my customer base back in July, and there was a video of our first meeting kickoff on July 27th. And so that video is on my YouTube channel. And from then on, it has been only success after success with our direction in using my software and provide a service that is that you can use on your personal account, but even take it to a higher level of challenge, because the prop firms is brutally the biggest giant mammoth challenge that you will have. If you can succeed on a prop firms level, then more kudos to you on your personal account. Okay. And what is the meaning of the strategies of lifetime? 1, 2, and 3. So lifetime meaning you don't pay fees going forward. You don't have a monthly fee for the license. Once you buy, it's yours. Strategy 1 is the step in base. Strategy 2 is the T-stop trend, and strategy 3 is the T-stop counter trend. The name of the YouTube channel is Zoom in Profit. So I think we will wrap up at this point. I appreciate very much. And again, many thanks to the people who joined me back in May and are still here supporting me. And I look forward to the new customers that we can do great going forward. The question about buying all of them, if you buy one, I suggest the step MA. If you buy all of three, you get a better discount by buying all three. And you can email me again if you have any specific question. And again, if you pay with Zelle or Venmo, I can give you a discount that bypasses some of the costs related to the shopping cart. info@zoominprofit.com. So the strategy is the price. I posted the link, and maybe I'll post the link again. But it's already way at the beginning there. So the strategy is normal price is about $1,200. There is a discount today of 22%. So you get that at $975, all three. And if you buy just one, it's $650. If you pay with Zelle, email me and you get $75 off on the package. So that would be $900 even. Or you get $50 on one strategy. That will be $600 for the step MA with the Zelle payment. Otherwise, you have to check out at my shopping cart on the Zoom In Profit, and I'll put the website here, zoominprofit.com. So thank you again for NinjaTrader ecosystem and the great support that I've had from NinjaTrader. How do things get installed? Well, that is another discussion. We'll send you PDFs and tutorials, videos. NinjaTrader has an amazing library to get you started if you are a beginner. So NinjaTrader has been in business like for decades. So they have taken people from the very beginning level. That is from anywhere in the world, basically, you can use the software. Oh, someone asking about get Zelle from the UK. No, the Zelle is a pay system from the US. It's probably not available in the UK. Sorry about that. So the Zelle payment is a bank-to-bank transfer in the US. The strategy is execute trades totally from opening to closing, 100%. No signals for you to deal with. If you want just the signals, then you need just the indicator. So the strategy is like having a car on autopilot that will drive for you from beginning to end. And if you have just the indicator, think about it. You are doing all the work. So as far as the discount, guys, on the website, and if you have a situation that it needs to be addressed specifically, please send me an email and I can work it out with you on an individual basis, okay? Thank you again, and Thomas can take over.
All right. Well, I would like to give a special thank you to John of Zoom and Profit for a great presentation today. Everyone in attendance here will receive an on-demand recording of today's event, so please keep an eye out for that email. Now, NinjaTrader Ecosystem is pleased to sponsor these weekly vendor webinar events as a value-added service for our clients. If you find value in these events, we hope you will attend them on a regular basis. We would like to remind you that the information today was that of Zoom and Profit and not of NinjaTrader. All information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as trading advice. Again, we appreciate your time spent with us today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you in future webinars. Happy trading from all of us here at NinjaTrader Ecosystem.